G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the TEQ Syn Shenron. So this is Merciless Punishment Syn Shenron, and he is one of the banner units for the anniversary, obviously on the GT banner or the SS4 banner. So he is a GT boss's lead of 130%. He raises his attack and defense for one turn and causes supreme damage on his super attack, and overall he's a pretty interesting unit. His passive is pretty nuts. He has attack and defense of 100%, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres. He will then gain an additional 50% attack and defense when attacking with 2 or more key spheres obtained, 50% attack and defense when attacking with 3 or more key spheres obtained, an additional 50% attack and defense when attacking with 4 or more key spheres obtained. He will disable enemies guard with 5 or more key spheres obtained. He then has a high chance of performing a critical hit with 6 or more key spheres obtained, and plus an additional attack and defense of 70% and a high chance of launching an additional super attack when attacking with 7 or more key spheres. So he has probably one of the wildest passes I've ever seen. Basically, if you get orbs, he's going to be outputting at crazy levels. We're talking like 4 million attack stats at 55%. Like, this guy is nuts. And his defense will be huge. His total boost is 540% from his passive. So if you get 7 orbs, whatever defense you're going to see from this guy, you're going to see that defense pretty much grow by over 5 times the amount, roughly. Obviously, not gonna go into the details of it, but basically, if you see him have 60k defense, you're gonna, after he supers with 7 orbs, he's gonna have 300k defense, which is nuts. Not to mention, he's got a great link set: Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, GT, Fear and Faith, Shadow Dragons, and Fierce Battle. All great links overall. His only real issue is that he's only on 3 categories, but fortunately for him, he has a ton of great linking partners on those categories, and one of his best linking partners is about to get a very good easy air. So you're going to see this guy become super dominant on his 3 teams. Comparatively to Broly, who I think is a very good unit, the joy in using Syn Shenron is that the capacity for him to be great is bigger. Broly is a far more consistent unit with a very flat passive and very consistent performance overall, whereas Syn Shenron is a kind of unit where you might pick up 7 orbs every time for 3 turns in a row, and you can just see him become an absolute animal. So here we have him linked up with one of his best linking partners. He is currently sharing pretty much every link with him. This is the unit that he's going to be really thriving with in future. The big issue with Syn Shenron is that he'll only gain all his defense after super. So there's one thing: he's definitely a 2nd slot unit. He's not necessarily a 1st slot unit. And we're going to get 6 orbs here. So we're going to get just below the max orbs, which is quite, as you can see, it's not so easy to get. 51k. So at this point, after he supers, he'll be at around 200,000 defense, which is very, very good. Remember, he now also has a high chance of critical hit, and he also is going to have a lot of his passive built up. So we're going to see how he goes. This is pretty close to the highest we're going to see from him. 2.2 million. Very good. Very, very good. No support or anything on the rotation. Every link active. 2.2 million is very solid. It's very, very similar to what Broly, Broly was outputting around the 2.7 mark. And you can see that. Broly was doing about 2.7, 6 orbs with Syn Shenron, and we're seeing around 2.2. The big thing with Syn Shenron is he does have Big Bad Bosses, which once activated will push that up quite a lot to about 2.4, 2.5. Now, Big Bad Bosses is obviously a very, very strong link. It's something that you do want to link level with him, but it gives him great value. It's going to increase his defense a lot, which is great, and because of how the nature of his passive works, the fact that he's able to get Big Bad Bosses active and really increase that level of defense is something that's really excellent. So here we've got support for him now. So this is a very good situation for us. Basically what's going to happen is we're going to be able to have the support for him. We're going to move him into the middle slot, so he'll have every link active. We are going to have a 30% support for him, and we have 8 orbs, so we now have the full passive active. The only thing we do not have active at this point in time is Big Bad Bosses. So this is a very good indication of his max that you might see on a 55% unit before he obviously goes off and link levels. So this is the LR, a very good LR. I think that's very boosted by units like this, by the way. I think it really helps them out as well. But yeah, so that's the LR, and then 3.2 million. Very good. So 3.2 million, immediately you can see it's higher than Broly. So that's what I was talking about, whereas with Syn Shenron, the max for the unit is a lot more predominant, a lot more exciting than the max for Broly. His defense at this point will be very close to the 300k mark. We had a high chance to crit, and we had a high chance of launching an additional super attack as well. So not only were we getting that raise of defense from the first super attack, but we also had possibly a second super attack, also with a 50% crit chance, about to be fired and raise our defense further, and also be a little bit higher on the attack spectrum. So very, very good. Like I said, a very, very good showing by Syn Shenron. I think, for me personally, I think Syn Shenron is better than Broly because of his capacity to be more exciting as a unit. Not only that, he, comparatively to Broly, has a unit that's about to receive an EZA and become highly relevant with obviously that better level of relevancy. Like when Omega Shenron EZAs, you're going to be seeing Syn Shenron have relevancy just because Omega Shenron now is so very, very good. And I think that's going to be something that's very, very important that Syn Shenron has comparatively to Broly, who doesn't necessarily or isn't currently linking to a unit that's that relevant. So here we go. We can see again great attack stat here. Obviously we got quite a few orbs. We do have double support on the rotation, but you can see that the crit chance, the attack stats, everything's really great. And this is without Big Bad Bosses or anything active at any point in time. So overall, a very, very solid showing from Syn Shenron. Personally, I really, really like him. I think he's excellent. He's obviously only on a couple teams, which is something to take note of. But I think if you do have Syn Shenron, you're going to be pretty happy that you have him. And if you are building a Shadow Dragons or Inhuman Deeds team, Syn Shenron is kind of your way to go. And interestingly enough, he links quite decently with Goku Black units. Not crazy, but he does share quite a few links with Goku Black units. Now, in terms of his links, he's very good in that he has 3 key links. So we've got Fear and Faith, we've got GT, and we've got Shocking Speed. Now, GT obviously is just going to help him mainly on GT focused teams or Shadow Dragon Saga teams, so GT bosses, Shadow Dragon Saga. Shocking Speed is very good though. It's going to enable him to kind of link with some more units on Inhuman Deeds side, some more of the more obscure GT bosses units as well in future. Fear and Faith as well is just a great link, very commonly shared with Goku Black units and things like that. It's always a shame that the Android 17s are not on GT bosses, but what can you do? Then obviously he's got Shadow Dragons, a very exclusive link which is more directly tied to Shadow Dragons units. It's a great link, by the way, that will link level up with 20% additional defense. So if you link level Big Bad Bosses and Shadow Dragons, Syn Shenron will have an additional 45% starting defense, which don't get it twisted. It counts a lot. It can really change the perspective of this unit. We're seeing 50k, you're going to be seeing closer to the 62, 63k mark. And because of the way his passive works, those multiplicative 50% are really going to push that quite a lot higher, which I think you do need to be aware of. So Shadow Dragon's great link. Fierce Battle obviously just common for all Dokkan Awaken units. Big Bad Bosses, great link for villains teams. Basically anyone who's got Big Bad Bosses, it's a great link to pick up, because once you link level it, it's a very flat, good, big boost at base level. So that's obviously very, very excellent. And then Brutal Beatdown, which is okay. I don't think it's a major link, but I don't think it's a bad link. It's something he's obviously sharing with mainly the Omega Shenrons, but he could potentially share in future with some other boss units. It's on uncommon villain link. Majin Buus have it, some Freezers have it, so it is somewhat of a decent link, but it's definitely not the most exciting one. If you're gonna link them, make sure you focus on Fear and Faith, big bad bosses, and you should be good to go. And if you obviously are focusing on the GT bosses or on the Shadow Dragon side, then mainly GT will cover you for key. Fear and Faith will also be a great pickup, but you're mainly looking at GT, big bad bosses, and where possible you want to pick up Shadow Dragons, because that link is awesome and it's going to give him a lot of power boost. He's going to be really ripping it up. Now the cool thing is, like I said, his best counterpart or his best partner is the physical Omega Shenron, and he's due in Easy A. And so when he pairs with him, they share every link, which is very good, obviously, and means that you can have great synergy there. There are some other Syn Shenrons, but I definitely think the TEQ one is the best. So if you are fortunate enough to have him, then good job. And if you are obviously someone who's into Omega Shenron, Syn Shenron, that whole combination, Syn Shenron gonna do a lot of good work. He should help you with pretty much anything Shadow Dragons related, Inhuman Deeds as well. I guess he'll also help, but yeah, he is still very limited on categories, very similar to Broly, so I can't really say that he's the greatest unit of all time, but he's definitely very, very good and worth the value. That's gonna be it from me. Take care, stay safe. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and bye.